All right, what is going on, my fit family, my F45 family, my coaches, my team of coaches? Thank you so much for everything you guys have done during this pandemic. Thank you for being there for us. Totally appreciate it. For all the Hollywoods that you volunteered for all the Vimeos that you've pre-recorded, for all the Zooms that you've participated in, thank you so much. Totally appreciate it. So I hope you guys and your families are staying safe, keeping fit, and then staying active. So hopefully this pandemic and with the government lifting a lot of the restrictions, we're gonna get through this sooner than later, but we will get through this together. So I appreciate that. Having said that, now that we are having our boot camps, and the boot camps have been having some great positive feedback, numbers have been steady, as well as the possibility of us opening up the studios sooner than later. Dylan has asked me to do a little video on basically how to correct cue our members now that because of social distancing, we can't touch them. So we have to basically demo, cue, correct the members without touching. So I know it's going to be difficult in studio, outside of the studio, as we're used to being kind of hands-on with our members. But for our safety and the safety of our members, we're going to have to kind of communicate a lot more efficiently and effectively when we are doing the demonstrations and talking to our members. So the key is, of course, knowing our members. Members are going to have certain movement patterns that we're going to be aware of, certain injuries that we're going to be aware of. However, there's going to be new members. There's going to be new members that are excited to jump in and get going. This pandemic has kind of taken a toll on their fitness levels, and they just want to jump in. So number one, again, we can't touch them, so we have to communicate a lot more effectively and efficiently. One point before I get going is spotting. So when we do strength days, we know those members that are going to try to lift heavy and try to get those gains in. Unfortunately, we are not supposed to spot our clients or our members because we can't physically touch them. However, it is our responsibility. So if we do see a member struggling and it is going to be a safety issue, I would ask the member first if you are allowed, if you can spot them. And second, if you do choose to spot them, please use a towel, gloves, whatever it may be to keep yourself safe. But at the beginning of class, when you are doing the demos and explaining the workout, please just ask them not to lift heavier than normal, just so that we can all be safe and of course prevent injury. All right, so now that we are out and about at the boot camp or at the studio, we are going to have to cue and correct our members without touching. So this is where the communication comes in. And based on the readings that HQ has sent me, I've kind of created an acronym called SAFE. So SAFE, to keep ourselves safe and to keep the members safe. So S, starting for starting position, A for alignment, F for feelings, and E for the end position. So that's what I want you guys to think about. I want you to think about that acronym for every movement. So before we start the workout, the night before, it's our responsibility as trainers, as coaches, to basically know what the workout's going to be. So know the movements, know the progressions, know the regressions, and then so that way we know how to properly communicate and cue the workout, all right? So get familiar with the workout, whether it's gonna be 22, Athletica, Romans, Angry Birds, whatever it is. Just know what the movements are going to be as well as the timing so that you are familiar and kind of prepare yourself for any regressions, progressions, cueing that may need to arise during the workout. All right, so going back to safe, so starting position. So I'm not gonna take you through all the crazy exercises. I'm just gonna start with a basic squat using that SAFE acronym in my head, taking the members through that, all right? So the squat, again, is a good one just because it's a functional movement and we use it pretty much cardio, strength, front squats, back squats, squat presses, jump squats, you name it. It's pretty much in every workout that we do. So this one, so for starting position, I'm gonna mention to the clients for the starting position for the squat, we wanna have our feet about shoulder width apart. We wanna engage our core. All right, so we wanna have our abs nice and tight, ribs tucked in, glutes ready to go. So staying nice and tall, feet shoulder width apart, okay? So that's your starting position. A for alignment, you wanna have, again, glutes engaged, core nice and tight. You might wanna just kind of change the angles, You want to have the shoulders right above the heels. I know some people, we talk about having the weight balanced and even across the feet, so you can mention that as well. And then you feet shoulder width apart, so there's alignment. And then for feeling, so now you want to talk about feeling. So you want to actually kind of create a visualization as well. So one of the ones that my coaches have told me is that as I squat, I want to imagine me pushing the floor out with my feet. So I'm going to push the floor out with my feet, digging my feet in, hinging from the hips instead of leading with the knees. So feeling it in my glutes, feeling it in my quads, and feeling the floor open or the ground open up as I squat. All right. So feeling that. Okay. The end position, E, so I'm feeling that in my quads, in my glutes, and pushing the knees out, allowing my hips to drop, getting my butt below parallel, full range of motion, and then squeezing the glutes at the bottom there, right? So this is your end position, and then repeat, all right? Unless some of you consider the coming back up as the end position, you can communicate that as well, totally up to you. But, so that's your safe. So starting position, alignment, so feet shoulder width apart, toes slightly pointing out if you want, and then feeling it in your glutes, feeling it in your quads, feeling the hips open, feeling the ground separate, and then end position here or back up and position there. All right, so pushing up from the heels as you stand up. So that's a squat. That's your SAFE acronym. Now, again, we've got deadlifts, we've got push-ups, bent over rows. So another feeling for the bent over row is that squeezing that tennis ball between the shoulder blades. So that's a good feeling, one that you can kind of help them visualize as they do that movement. So just get familiar with the movements for the day, and then just kind of pre-think what you're gonna say and what you're gonna do as you demo. So SAFE. So your starting position, your alignment, your body alignment. So whether you're hinging from the hips, whether your ribs are tucked in for your core, whatever the alignment is, and then feeling. Where should you feel it? Should you feel it in the upper abs, quads, glutes, hamstrings? And then create a visualization for that feeling as well. Squeezing a tennis ball, spreading the floor open, things like that. And then finally, the end position. What should you look like when you are in that final end position? So hopefully this video helps you guys kind of create that SAFE mentality, that SAFE acronym, so that when we are with our members, we don't physically have to touch them, but we can still cue them and correct them safely from a safe distance, and then we can all enjoy the workout and hopefully get through this pandemic sooner than later and get back to the real normal versus the new normal. I know it's gonna take a while, but please be safe, and once again, thank you for everything that you guys have done.